Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you in another video. All right, so tonight, 7 o'clock, Crypto.com Arena. You got the LA Lakers versus the Sacramento Kings. Of course, the Lakers are just coming off a win, a very, very emphatic win against the Memphis Grizzlies last night in tournament play. And we basically set our franchise record for the made threes, 22 made threes off of 36 shots. And I think that was like 64%. So we love how we shot the ball for an absolute change, given the fact that we're the second worst three-point shooting team behind Charlotte in the league going into yesterday's game. So hopefully we shot ourselves up a little bit further up those standings and can continue to shoot the ball as well as we did last night. One thing I looked at just now that I really appreciated was how Anthony Davis has been assisting the Rock on top of everything else he's been doing. He had 5 assists in the last game, 6 assists in the game before that, and 4 assists in the game before that. That is exactly the type of assist play that we want from Anthony Davis. When he first got here, I accused him of not being that great of a passer, and now that his assist game is starting to come around a little bit more, his passing has improved, he's that much more of an effective superstar for us. On top of the 6 blocks that he had in the last game. Earlier in the season, he had a 7-block game. I don't know who's paying attention, but Anthony Davis is having an MVP caliber season right now. Rebounding the ball very high. His scoring has been basically around 30, almost 30 points a game. He is playing like an MVP right now. And we're going to need him tonight to play at that level against Domantas Sabonis, who's also playing like an MVP right now, in order to beat the Sacramento Kings. Now, the last time we saw the Kings, it was an overtime game. We were still having some of our first quarter woes that we've since kind of worked through. Some of our rotation issues were very much in place. Guys who were hurt that have now since returned. And so we expect to have a different game out there. For the Sacramento Kings, De'Aaron Fox is averaging 30 points a game. He just came back from injury, and he's right back to his scoring ways. I think he had like 28 points in the previous matchup against the Cleveland Cavaliers, where they did, in fact, get the victory. A guy that we're going to have to pay attention to is a guy by the name of Kevin Huerter. When we saw the Kings last time, we were talking about how Kevin Huerter was having a whole lot of issues scoring the ball. He was in a slump. He has since broken out of that slump and is now hot. So we're going to have to pay attention to him. Also, Keegan Murray had a 25-point game, which was his season high. Had 5 threes against the Cleveland Cavaliers as well. So you're looking at 2 basketball teams tonight to where in their previous matchup, both of them felt like they finally saw everything click at the same time. That is a very interesting way of starting a matchup when you consider if both teams are coming off some of their best ball and now have to go up against one another. What are you going to see? What is there to expect? Well, I can tell you, the way the Lakers shot last night, if Sacramento shoots like that, and we can keep up with them, because Sacramento does shoot like that. In fact, they're one of the better teams at shooting the ball, and they're going to launch threes. That's just who they are. So you talk about guys like Malik Monk, who's assisting the ball a lot more than he would be expected to, as well as shooting the ball at a high level coming off their bench. You just love what they have going on with their consistency, with cohesiveness. When you consider Sabonis is an assist guy, Monk is an assist guy, Fox is an assist guy, they can all make the Kevin Huerters and the Harrison Barneses and they each other better, basically. Keegan Murray, they all are finding one another in making shots. So you have to execute very well to beat the Sacramento Kings. And last time we saw them, they were able to light the beam at our expense. This game will be in our house, which I'm really happy about, given the fact that it's a back-to-back. We have to go up to Sacramento on a trip overnight. Everybody got to sleep in their own bed, and we'll come back to play this game for our team. So we feel extremely confident about that. Given the fact that there's not too much time between yesterday's superstar basic matchup shooting the ball and this evening 24 hours later, we would hope that some of that just continues to carry over. Now tonight we're going to be back to our normal floor, our normal uniform. We're going to be wearing yellow tonight. It ain't going to be no alternate floor. This is not a tournament game. They're not in our group in this tournament, but this will be a game that will test us, and we don't want to go down 0-2 in the season series against a team that we may have to see in the playoffs. We're going to want home court advantage. We do not want them lighting the beam on us in the playoffs. So this is a situation where I'm looking at the Sacramento Kings, and I just understand that we have to respect them. There's a team where we're both neck and neck. If you look at the net rating, they're like 19, we're like 20. Their record's 5-4, our record's 6-5. So it's like these two teams are neck and neck in just about all the team categories necessary, and it's going to be a barn burner tonight. I'm very pleased that our Lakers blew the Memphis Grizzlies out yesterday so we could rest some of our starters. That's really what we get to benefit from. Even though it was a back-to-back, no one played over 27 minutes last night. And I love that. You got guys like D'Lo Russell, who practically shot perfect. He was 6-8 from behind the arc. Austin Reeves was a guy who shot perfect, 44 for 4 from behind the arc. You had Cam Reddish going 3 for 5. He hasn't basically missed too much since he missed the Miami Heat corner 3. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff clicking at the same time with this Los Angeles Laker team. Rui Hachimura practically didn't miss in that last game as well. You can see how the Lakers found themselves with such high shooting percentages both from the 3 and the field goal, for which we shot over 54% from the field. So the only thing I would say that I didn't love yesterday from the Lakers was the turnover percentage. We turned over twice as much as that Memphis team. They only had 9. We had 18. So that is something that the Lakers are going to have to keep down, because right now you're going up against a team that has that as their strength. They get in transition off of steals. Keegan Murray does this. De'Aaron Fox does this. Sabonis does this. They all get in passing lanes and get forced turnovers for their team. So we're going to have to keep our turnovers down if we want to beat the Kings, straight up. This matchup, you got to pay attention to players that are up and down this board. They have a lot of talent, a lot of players that they use in regular rotation. That's what I always tell y'all about the Kings. They seem to have twice as many players on their team, and they don't have a problem using them. So they can always go deep in their rotation. A guy like Vincent is starting to find his footing on this team. He's a rookie from overseas who specializes shooting the ball. He's a center-forward combination, and I expect for him to have a breakout any moment now. They're very excited about him, and I know he's a key role player off of their bench, so we got to be very careful not to give up three-point shots to very talented three-point shooters. Him, Herter, Murray, Monk, these are shooters of the highest order, high-executing shooting talent. So if we don't play our best ball against them, they will shoot us down. There's no question about it. Perimeter defense is going to be key tonight. And our perimeter defense yesterday wasn't that great because the Memphis Grizzlies were able to shoot it pretty good yesterday. The Lakers have benefited from playing against depleted basketball teams. That's what would give me some cause for concern, because tonight we're going to see a team that doesn't have that problem at all for the first time in about 5 games. Miami was the last team we saw that was legitimately complete on the floor. And I'd say this team is even more complete than Miami because they're missing even less than what Miami was. You're only expecting Trey Lyles and Alex Len to not be on the floor out there tonight. Everybody else for the Kings is available. So we had better be ready for that. They're coming in strong. And like I said, everything is clicking from the past game that they played against the the Cleveland Cavaliers. So this is a team on a 3-game winning streak. They're shooting the ball pretty well from what I understand, and they just got a lot of different guys they can throw at you with a lot of confidence, man. They're not to be toyed with. Now, they're not the greatest defensive team, so I do expect for the score to be pretty high, especially if we're continuing our hot shooting ways. This should be upwards in the 120s, 130s, honestly. And I hope that because we did shoot so well, we don't have to find ourselves in our second straight overtime game with the Sacramento Kings team, that we can give ourselves yet another comfortable win, because we haven't been getting a lot of those as of late. But all in all, you just love what we're seeing from your team, given the fact that we started the season so slow, but we're able to get wins while playing poorly, and are now starting to get guys back from injury and are starting to play better and still win. So that is what you really want to see. We got through probably the worst of what we got going on in terms of these injuries. Knock on wood, they don't get any worse. We got guys coming back. Jalen Hood-Schifino, we saw running around yesterday. He's slowly bringing himself back. 2 days ago, Jared Vanderbilt was cleared. So we're hopeful that we can have everybody back within the next 2 weeks. And I don't see why we wouldn't. I'm not sure about Gabe Vincent, though. But those 2 key players, the rookie and, of course, Vando, we will have soon. So we just got to weather this storm for a few more games, and I think we'll be where we want to be with our roster. The rotations were nice last night. We want to see a continuation of what we saw. Bringing Austin Reeves off the bench has been a raging success. He had 12 rebounds to lead the team last night off the bench. 4 for 4, as I said, from behind the arc. Also 7 assists to go along with his stellar play. He's just found his way off of the bench, and it's working. And D'Lo, he looks great as well, continuing to start. They don't necessarily need to play with one another too often. They can stagger, and we can get a fantastic hot and cold, not hot and cold, but alternate big guard situation going when we stagger those 2. I want to see Christian Wood get in rhythm, man. He was the only guy that was pretty much cold last night. 1 for 8 shooting the ball. He did have 10 boards. And so we definitely appreciate his rebound and his length and how it assists our team overall. But I want to see him get in his offensive rhythm because that is one of the more offensive talented players that we have. So, yeah, that's what's on my mind. I like what I saw from Jackson Hayes yesterday. He's continuing to grow. Like I said yesterday in the post-game video, I need him to hit the weight room, though. He's going to have to get stronger in both upper and lower body to be exactly who he wants to be. So I really am pleased with him. He's going to have to put in more work like everybody else. And, of course, Max Christie, we want to continue to see him play well. He had a big 3 shot the career high, how do you say this? The team record 3-point shot made was shot by Max Christie at the end of the game. And I thought that was a welcome sign because he hadn't really been shooting well to start this season. And so we want to see him continue to get the minutes given and be shooting with confidence and driving with confidence because we know that young player can help us on the defensive end for sure. So him and Cam Reddish, we're loving what we're seeing from Cam Reddish. He's been playing great for the last couple of games. We just want to continue to see him have high confidence, keep shooting the ball the exact way he's shooting it, continue to steal the ball in the way that he does. And when we get Vanderbilt back, we're going to be a very, very dangerous defensive team. I cannot stress this enough. When you got guys that are as talented as him, Vando, and Anthony Davis defensively, also a guy by the name of Taurean Prince, of whom I've said I'm not so hot on him, but he does help us defensively with his length and his ability. And so if we can get all these guys clicking at the same time once again, I think we could really have a great night against the Sacramento Kings at home. So that game is at 7 p.m. tonight. Be there or be square, baby. It's one of them type of situations where with the momentum that the Lakers played with last night, I have no reason to believe we're not going to continue to play well. I don't have any reason to believe that. We've been slowly but surely working our way through these problems that we've had with offensive rebounds being given up so much, shooting the ball as poorly from behind the arc as we had, shooting the ball poorly from the field as we had. We worked all of those things out over the last couple of games, and now we get a real test against a real team that's also playing very well. So I don't want us to drop the ball. We got enough rest yesterday for this to be a back-to-back. Everything fell into place the way you wanted to winning the tournament game. And now it's time for us to show that we can take what we've done against depleted teams and apply it to a legitimate playoff team in the Sacramento Kings. So that's pretty much what I got to say. This ain't no long pregame video because I got a lot of stuff to do today, but I definitely wanted to come through and let y'all know that the Sacramento Kings will be coming to town tonight in our second of a back-to-back after a fantastic blowout victory against the Memphis Grizzlies, where we debuted our brand new floor for the tournament and brand new city jerseys that I thought looked great on that floor. And we broke a record, you know what I mean? And made ourselves very, very confident that we can do great things tonight against SAC. So that's pretty much what I got to say. My name is BDL44. I thank you all for watching, and I'm out.